Hello, hello. Oh, where the heck is it? Oh, there it is. Hello, hello. How are you guys doing? Yes. Yeah, sorry for being a little late. I had like, what's it called? I had like some technical difficulties for a little bit, for a minute. Stay hydrated, thank you. By the way, this is the theme that I run for now. Great lo-fi, by the way. Amazing lo-fi beat. Hi there. How's everyone's Sunday? I almost completely forgot. Almost completely forgot, not about the stream, but that that it's coming out like tomorrow, right? Late. I try to be, man. You know, I try to be on time. But yeah, no, it's is there a reason why it's coming out in 5 hours? Is it 5 hours from now? Is it today? I thought it was tomorrow. Dude, oh, is it the universal time thing? Oh, it might be. It might be today. Fuck, you're right. Oh, it's such a good time that I thought to actually check. Man, that's crazy. Oh, that makes a lot of sense. I don't know, the universal time thing always messes with me. 11 p.m. Yeah, that probably makes sense that there's some sort of holiday. Probably makes sense. You guys are right. I just kept thinking about it, like, because they announced it. I was like, oh, it's coming out Monday, and I was like, oh yeah, Monday, and I was like, wait, no, not Monday. That early? Yeah, it's early. It's early this time. It's early this time. Don't really know the it's I guess it's a holiday. I don't know the exact holiday off the tops of my head right now, but it would be, I'm pretty sure there's a Chinese holiday in July 1st. I don't know about anything. I don't know about the June one off tops, or maybe it's June 1st. I don't remember. I don't know. But yeah, no. Excited. We got a lot to talk about today because holy shit. I think one of the crazy things is obviously the Himeko stuff. Asat Pramad, which I'm super excited about as well. But yeah, no, like as always, just like a free forum. We can do for story predictions, whatever you guys are thinking right now. But yeah, I think first and foremost, let's go through the trailer one more time and kind of like break it down slowly. But I want to see exactly what's up. Whatever we can. Hold on. Let's check everything's good. Let's get the on.
From the very beginning, Himeko never left Planarcadia.
So, I want to go see this. All right.
I summon Graphia.
That took me for a second to realize that was Kalis because I don't play as Kalis. I was like, hold on, who the hell is that? There we go. I'm going to go back to see Himeko. I'm wondering... Now, there's like a weird thing where... Okay, I want to take a look at this Himeko because I wonder if it's like similar to... how similarly she looks to Graphia. Because I have like this weird thing where I feel like maybe Himeko... I mean, there has to be some weird connection with Himeko and Graphia. That has to be up. But obviously they're in the same family. But I'm wondering if the whole entire... Like, there has to be a connection between the curse, Graphia, Himeko, and obviously the Himeko we know. And now that we know that she never left... Yeah, is Graphia Himeko? And that's kind of like where I'm leaning on, is that is how the only way this would work is that if Himeko is not the Himeko we know and is actually Graphia. What is type in Himeko? Made from Graphia like Sparksy? Not just Sparksy too, because another thing is that I'm starting to wonder, since we got the confirmation that wait, sorry, give me one. Sorry, give me 1 second. Oh, God. Something just happened. Sorry about that. I had a maintenance guy that's I had like asked for, and I said specifically, hey, I'm not gonna be available this time, and came exactly at this time. No, Hoyo's definitely gonna hurt.
Left in Arcadia.
See, like, I think I'm starting to wonder if Himeko we know is not Himeko, is that we know Graphia. That, or she made an imagine that is actually the Himeko that we are traveling with. And I really like this idea, and I don't remember exactly where it was, is that there is an old like story where someone wished upon that they couldn't travel and go anywhere, but they wanted a version of themselves to be able to travel. And I think the Himeko winning might have won the Phantasm Games with the power of Evanescia, maybe Graphia, and wished that there was a version of her that's able to travel. It's also even a bit of a weirder thing that, like, it does sound really familiar. I can't put my finger on what story that's from, but it sounds really, really familiar. And I'm starting to think that maybe that there's like some that. Oh wait, okay, sorry. Let me rather my thoughts. I think it's also weird that if Himeko never left Planarcadia, how is she still alive? Unless she's also in the world in Canvas. Because either way, the timeline still doesn't match up, is that the Himeko that would have stayed in Planarcadia should be dead by now. By all means, she should not be alive. Unless she's like, she and Graphia merged together in some, Dragon Ball Z fusion thing. But like, by all means, she shouldn't be alive, even if she did stay. And that's kind of like the weird thing I have. That all of these theories will just be proven wrong. Just me, after I've been doing this, and I'm sure you're in the same boat, I kind of like it when I'm proven wrong. There's like a moment where I was like, I didn't see that coming. That's kind of fun. Every so often, it's nice to be right. But most of the time, I feel like we're either always proven wrong, or we're always proven wrong, but it's always proven wrong in a way that's like, I wouldn't have expected that, which is nice.
Summon Graphia, mother of Imogen.
This is also a weird thing too. Is it ever like confirmed, and maybe someone fact check me on this, that Graphia was the first person to perform Imogenesis? No, right? I'm pretty sure Aha performed Imogenesis long before Graphia, and she just became known for it. Or maybe she was a really powerful user of it. But is it not like, yeah, it's Aha. So I find it weird that she's called the mother of Imogenesis. Because that implies that, mother tends to be, when in terms of like these types of anime stuff, they tend to be like, the founder of Imogenesis. I'm so glad you guys told me that the update was today. I don't know why I didn't click in my head. I was like, it's Monday. Yeah, it's gonna be fine. Oh my god, it's so good that I pointed it today. And this time, oh my god, that was all luck. Nihilix was called the mother of Aha? What?
May she come forth and deliver us into the world in Canvas.
Wait.
Okay, this is kind of a funny thing. I forgot what they said this is like the in-between area between the world in Canvas and Planarcadia. And I find it so funny that they decided to make it look like a Hokkaido hot spring. Is that is there some sort of like thing in? I'm starting to wonder if I'm starting to wonder if there's some sort of like Japanese folklore of like hot springs or Hokkaido being like something in the yokai world. Nihilix is Graphia in disguise. Also like Nihilix has some sort of connection. I feel like everyone's just this close to something. Everyone's this close to figuring out what it is out.
You sure about this?
Whether.
And this is... Okay, so is this also the Planarch Elwood? There's golden leaves. This has to be a part of the Planarch Elwood, right? Or it has to be part of the abundance. golden leaves and trees. But this is not the plant the Phantasm Courtyard. Yeah, so this should be in the area, in the new area though. In the world between the God, all these names are getting mixed up in my head. Between the world and canvas and this new area in Planarcadia.
Whether as Yin Xing.
It has to be something.
Or as Blade.
I kind of hate that they made Blade cool. God damn it. I wasn't wanting to pull for him, but then like I watched Braxophone's like guide, and he's like stupidly broken. He's like completely stupidly broken. Oh my god. Why they had to make him broken. He's a Stellaron hunter. Now, I do want to point this out. There is something really cool they did with his designs that has to do with, I'm not sure if Chinese folklore, but mostly Japanese folklore. But you see this little halo around him. For anyone, that's like a typically one of the signs of a holy figure in a lot of Eastern folklore. So, famously, like Izanami, I think, is it Izanami or the Japanese weather gods? By the way, my AC is running in the back to let me know if it's too hot or it is too loud. But it is like really, it's like running. It's hot where I'm at right now. Yeah, this thing right here. Like the Raijin, exactly like this. Not the drum, just this part right here. You see the clouds around him in the back. It's typically used for a lot of like holy figures, not just in I'm not really talking about the background, but the clouds kind of hanging as a scarf is a big thing in Japanese folklore. I'm pretty sure Susanoo has that, right? Susanoo god, typically, or something like that, or Shinto Kami. Yeah, there's a few. Oh god, there's a few that do pop up that have that exact thing, and I know that off tops because I follow One Piece creators, and I know that when a the devil fruit typically has that same idea. It has like these clouds floating behind it, which is a sign of deification in a sense.
Reached its end.
Which is also interesting. I also wanted to check if that's a Chinese thing, because obviously Blade is a Chinese coded character. But I don't know if it is Chinese mythology gods. Oh, thank you for just subscribing right now, Spark Chaos. I really appreciate it. Gods. I love that little animation I made though. The one where the Persona 5 they split. Cloud background? Cloud back scarf thingy. This is the weirdest. Yeah, this is gonna be the weird magical floating shawl. Oh my god, there's a whole TV trope about it. Wait, that's hilarious. Wait, look at this. There is a whole TV trope about the magical floating shawl. In Asian and Buddhist deities are saints, celestial maidens, graceful beings, reminiscent of a holy halo. In instance, that it was a cloth gave them ability to fly, explaining why Asian deities are celestial beings. So, I think it's my theory about all of the Stellaron hunters slowly being able to control Emanator-like powers is starting to come into fruition. Because first we got, it's just called a halo, yeah. It's like a Chinese halo or Asian halo. But I think we first got Silverwolf, then we got now we got Blade. I think soon enough we're gonna get an example for Kafka or Firefly. Beauty Kafka, dude, I love that theory. That is one of my favorite theories I wrote was Beauty Kafka. Beauty Kafka is probably one of my favorite theories that I got to. I can't say I came up with it. I'm pretty sure I remember someone in the comments mentioned it. I think it was a joke, but Being able to flush out the theory was super fun. Just noticing all the interesting specs with her and Aglaya was so cool. And I think it's a very tongue-in-cheek way for Hoyo to be like, "That's mommy," you know. I think that would be so fun. Hoping for Elio playable. It's gonna happen. They have to make Elio playable. There's no cope in that. It's just coping in how long you're gonna have to wait. Oh yeah. So this is weird because Blade taking in this is implying that Blade is also taking in veracity on top of his abundance. And I'm kind of the reason why this is a bit weird to me is I think a lot of us initially saw when they're like, "Oh, we're going to give you the proper funeral," is that, well, the best way to kill Shuhu and the abundance is to have the veracity eat him, essentially, right? But it doesn't seem like that's the case. Veracity as my forge and abundance as my iron. He has a lot of rebirth going on, especially as a blacksmith. So he's going to be reborn as mortal. I hope he does. There's no way they kill him off. There's absolutely no way that they would kill him off. I think exactly that he'll be remade mortal. But it's also like, how is that going to happen? Veracity. What in veracity would allow him to be reborn? Because it's like very weird that just being eaten, he can just finally die. Okay, I'm genuinely curious. How many of you guys would actually be happy if within the 4-point-something patches, Blade actually just gets his rest? But like, okay, the catch is he doesn't become mortal. He's done. But people would quit. Exactly, people would quit. But they have to find a way to make him happy too. Can eat away the Mara. It'd be so selective. That'd be so selective. What I think is going to happen is that Blade's going to have to be... Bro's going to be reborn with the abundant. This has to be the perfect scenario in order for this to happen. Someone had to come up with this. Someone had to figure out a way. It's like I was just watching Ashikai's video, and it's exactly the thing she mentioned with the Evanesia Planarch Elwood with the veracity, is that slow drip feeding an endless supply of something that's immortal. But you have to, it would have to be, it's such a surgical thing to make it happen. Like, in my head, at least. There's, like, no way it doesn't happen. The fire is veracity? I guess. Is it? Is it? How do you know that?
Veracity as my forge, and abundance as my iron.
I said this during the live stream, and I kind of regret noticing it. For those of you who play ZZZ, he just seems like the emo male version of Ye Xinguang. he is exactly like a male version of Ye Xinguang. Hold on, let me try to find. If you guys don't know what character I'm talking about, here, let me see. Ye Xinguang. Where is her ult? Muramasa? Nah, dude. Okay, that is actually you're so right with the Muramasa one. The Muramasa, that actually might legitimately... Wait, you're so cooking with that. That might actually be the exact reference. Because, here, let me pull up Muramasa FGO. Let me pull up so that people know exactly what I'm talking about. No, we're talking about. Yeah. This guy right here. He has dude has exactly everything too. This is the guy we're talking about. Muramasa. He has the fire. He has the red coat. It's the same colors too. Red, white. I think he has some bandages on here too. And he calls him. It cooks so hard. We're starting the Fate collab early, man. Yeah, and then for those of you who don't know Ye Xingguang's ult, it looks like this.
Follows my will and wins power in the heavens.
You cannot tell me that does not look exactly like what we just showed. This is cool. This is interesting. Well, I do also wonder if, because, you know, in reference to him being Blade, because he also has the what's the sword, or the Shatter Blade, or the blade that he has that he uses. It's like the Splinter Sword, whatever it's called. I wonder if this is like in reference to that, since he stabs himself with it, that the shards are represented by swords now. The Shard Sword, yeah. Is it just called the Shard Sword? Dude, he does look too much like Nanook. Oh my god, you're kind of right. I feel like, I mean, like, honestly, though, at the same time, I feel like any male buff character that has gray hair is going to naturally look like Nanook, though. I think that's just a given at the same time. Finance twin. That's exactly what I'm saying. Any male character with white hair. Okay, this is crazy. His arm just turns into a sword.
Let our undying flesh be the iron, and let death.
Wait, what is that? What is the thing that he's doing? So he is wrestling. Oh, and this is not his normal form. This is his before he's changed. This is Shuhu's flower. And what is he trying to do? Is this an example of him just like getting the last missing pieces of Shu into himself? Whoever put just it's a tentacle, stop please. We don't need that right now. Yeah, I'm wondering that too. Okay, this is in reference. I am excited to see this. I want to see more of Yinxing as a blacksmith. Because we just know that he's a blacksmith. We saw his character figure, but we didn't actually see. I want to see more of what he was able to do as a blacksmith. To be that good. To be invited into a group of just warriors. Because he was just that good. I would love to know more about what other weapons he made. I'm pretty sure he made this technical conversation. I'm pretty sure he made Jing Yuan's spears. Spear. It's not a spear. It's I forgot the exact name. It's the same. It's like the sword spear, the half sword spear thing. I forgot the exact name of the weapon, but I'm pretty sure he made that. I think it was confirmed that he made most of the weapons for the High Cloud Quintet. Yeah, Jing Yuan's Danfeng spear. Like, I would want to know. I would love to see maybe if we ever get to the point where we go to the Zhuming, that like Hua Yan has some of Yinxing's old weapons. That it's like treasured, but like you can't use them because he's a prisoner. Guangdong, you're right. That's exactly one. I was just kept forgetting the name of that weapon. I would love to see the other ones. Like, it would be so interesting.
1,000 times over.
Wait, hold on. Is that a Christmas present? Is that a are we fighting Santa Claus right now? We're going to North Pole, guys. Went from Hokkaido to to the North Pole. What a choice for an enemy. That's hilarious. I did not Blade made his own sword, shard sword, star splitter, Bai Hung's weapon. Is the star? I thought the star splitter was a ship. I want to know what Bai Hung used as a weapon. I would love to know. Okay, I just want Bai Hung playable. All right, I will say it here. Bai Hung becomes playable. I will at the minimum E2 her. She will be my main. If Bai Hung, actual Bai Hung, ever becomes playable, I will E2 her live on stream. At least E2. I would love her to be Remembrance or something like that, and she summons her ship. That'd be so fucking sick. Or like Harmony. Or Harmony, and she boosts all the High Cloud Quintet, because that would be beautiful. Give me all the Foxians. I'm not a furry, I promise.
It's over. Be the hammer. Are you ready?
So this is also another very interesting thing about Blade. We're doing like scene by scene, by the way. If anyone, this is what we're gonna do until we do the predictions. These are called the Spider Lilies, and correct me if I'm wrong. Is Spider Lily? I think Spider Lilies are only the red Spider Lilies are only death depictions in Japanese folklore. It's not Chinese, right? Chinese meaning? Is it Chinese too, or is it just Japanese? Unrealized love. Oh, it is Chinese too. Okay, I was wrong. I thought it was only Japanese for a second. Unrealized love, final farewells, and cycle of reincarnation. Yeah, the rebirth thing is being really, really like sold here. With the Spider Lilies also have reincarnation as well as death. All of East Asia, yeah. It's like Spider Lilies, butterflies are also supposed to be like the gateways to hell, if I remember correctly. If I remember my like Bleach lore days or something like that. Bai Hung's alt voice will be "Eat this deck." Dude, I would love that.
Are you ready to turn your vengeance against your god?
Just as you...
Wait, hold on. See, this is another one that I thought was interesting. Is that he didn't say a god; it was your god. And theoretically speaking, is he? I wonder if he's talking about his previous path of the hunt, which would have been Lan. Is he talking about the god that he's now involved with Shuhu? So that would be the abundance. Or is he talking about the veracity or Boros? Or is he talking Yaoshi? Is he talking about Yaoshi, Lan, or Boros, or even the finality, which would be Terminus? I don't think it's Shuhu, because like Shuhu's not a god. He definitely, with the abilities that Shuhu seems to have, it seems like he's a god. Shuhu seems like an insane emanator, which I do want to bring up later on. Is I want to, after we talk through some of the prediction stuff, I want to talk about like the current standing of emanators in Star Rail, because it is very interesting.
God.
Just as you suspected, there is a 52...
I knew he was. I know. Bro, if Ryusuke is if Ryusuke is like, I just hope that Ryusuke is like being controlled by Asat Pramad and isn't just like a shit person. Because God, that would be so bad. Bro is already a shitty father. Imagine being even more of a shitty father than just not being there for your child. Never trust the father figures. Oh my God. God, I just hope, I hope he has that, like, it's like almost a demented, twisted love of a thing where his, oh, thank you, Wolfie. Appreciate it. Thank you. I really hope it's like he created Himeko, the Himeko we know, and he's playing dumb, and that he's the one who's trying to achieve his daughter's dream of being able to leave Planarcadia, and somehow wasn't through all of his thing wasn't able to find a way to revive or save Himeko, but rather create a version that was Himeko that was able to be able to go out. And that's what I'm hoping for. Because I hope it's like as a very it's like a very twisted father, but it's like still the love of a father in a way. I love also the idea that Himeko asked Pearl if Mr. Ryusuke is being used by Asat Pramad. It's kind of funny. I think that's actually hilarious. You see your dad for the first time. You go up to the president essentially of the world and be like, "Hey, look, my dad seems a little sus. What's the percentages? What's the percentages?" Yeah, being used. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping that it's like he made a deal with the devil type thing.
2% probability that Mr. Ryusuke was being used by Asat Pramad.
If the world's end.
Okay, and then you see this here. And we see the first example of like a character model for this might be Himeko now. Or no, it's not, because she looks like she's in a schoolgirl uniform. So this definitely shows like a split thing. Or Pramad. Bro, I love Asat Pramad. Dude is really playing like not just 4D chess, 5D chess, playing all the chess. Exactly. And here's another thing I want to point out is look at the hair she has here. And then we'll see Graphia later. And Graphia has, or maybe I'll just pull it up now. Let me see if I can find like a snapshot of Graphia. It's like right before here we would see her. Yeah, right here. It's a very similar haircut from the back. It's swooped to one side. The only thing we're missing is like the hair pieces on the top. You think Graphia is Himeko's mask? I feel like it would be the opposite. I feel like the mask would have to be Himeko because Graphia was the one who came first. If that was the same thing, right? All right, dude. Fucking aura farming like crazy. I'm also very happy we're gonna get more implications of the World's End Tavern. Like that's so good. I need more masked fools around, man. We need more masked fool representation. Give me another masked fool. I think this is supposed to be Asheville, right? His glove. Yeah, it should be Asheville's hand. Oh, you're right. It is Ron May's voice. Bro, imagine. Ooh, I wonder if this is a moment where we're gonna see that Asheville has the decision that he can kill Asat Pramad immediately with the veracity, or at least do damage to him. But he knows that he would also like destroy a lot of Planarcadia in order to do so. I feel like that would be the case. Morning actor emanator. I feel like that's a. All right. Here's the thing about. Here's my theory about a masked fool or morning actor like emanator. I don't think it's gonna happen. Or let me rephrase that. I think it's gonna happen, but it's gonna be someone who's experienced both being a masked fool as well as a morning actor, which is why I think the Nihilix situation is very interesting because she did do both. She was both. And so I feel like it has to be someone that is able to understand all spectrums of wide emotions. Did Genius Eye say something about Leviathans? Yes, and this is probably why we're going to start seeing Ron May come in. Dude, Asheville's not good. Here's a weird thing. Asheville dying would be so fucked up, but at the same time, my dude wants to die, but he wants to die heroically. So I'm hoping if it is like he needs to have like a epic moment going on, but he's definitely not going to die because he has a purpose still.
Isn't the tavern? Then what is it?
Yeah, see, like we could see the move. Dude's fucking sick. he's like thinking about activating his powers, it seems like. And I also want to point out the bottom here kind of looks like the school flooring, I think, similar to when we see Asat go against Himeko. Which, by the way, crazy pull. I'm gonna show you later. Bro is flash stepping, dude. It's crazy. And then we get the thing, and then look at that, dude. He's so cool. Oh, he's so cool. I know we're not gonna ever get a playable Lord Ravager, or I guess Finon technically was one, but we're not gonna get a playable Asat Pramad. But God, I would love it, dude. He would be so cool. And just pops out. It just smacks him Graphia. This is also interesting. So this is also the... Notice another thing here is that her staff looks like it's made out of, like, wood. And so I wonder maybe the kind of... What I think might have been interesting is that how to seal the world in canvas, because obviously that involves a lot of power. I wonder if this was maybe a piece of Evanescia. Like a piece of the Planarch Elwood that they cut off and made a paintbrush with. I feel like that would make sense. Because it's a very on the nose that this is what's it called? That this is very wood coated. Wake up, Grandma Graphia. It's time to get jumped by a Lord Ravager. God, imagine going up to your your ancestor. By the way, you know that demon lord that you kind of sacrificed everything to kind of kick out? He's back. So, all right. Here's the question now. Is this supposed to be Graphia, or is this supposed to be Himeko? Or is this supposed to be both? It's not Graphia's hair. There's more Himeko's hair. But she's using Graphia's paintbrush with abundance little marks everywhere. But the thing is, that's where I don't know, because it could be. But it's also, like, I don't think it's exactly what it is. It is a very interesting story for Himeko. To the point where I'm starting to wonder, because of all the things that's implied with Himeko here, that what is the crazy thing that we're going to see in the next patch? Because Himeko is actually coming out in the next patch. Oh, you're right. It is. Wait, was this Graphia's? Is Graphia's earrings before? Did she have an earring? No, she didn't. You're right. That is Himeko. Whoa, you're right. That is Himeko. It's called Murata. What a boss fight. This is going to be crazy. It is Himeko. You're right. She has an express earring. Wait, does Himeko have an express earring? Wait, hold on. Does Himeko actually have an express earring? I don't think she does. So that might actually still be Graphia. Huh. And this is interesting too. That she had that. What is this like little, like ball, like dice? This is like. Is this supposed to be Asat's head? Mavika. Oh, wait, and we see. All right, let's see. Oh, we see actually all of the Trailblazer. Hold on. Okay, that's Graphia. That's Preservation Trailblazer. That's Silverwolf. I'm also interested in the fact that Silverwolf is not using her Super Wolf self, which I feel like if Asat Pramad is out, I feel like she should be Super Wolf. She should be Alpha Wolf. Yeah, exactly. Why is Wolfie in base? Unless she can't use it anymore because she already used it. And then we have Amphorius Trailblazer. And we have new Trailblazer. And then more Silver Wolf. We got Blade, but old form Blade specifically. We have March. You know, I find it funny that even in this crazy scenario, and maybe she will pop out, I feel like she would, that Evernight doesn't come out yet. You know? I feel like that would be the situation Evernight should come out. Is that if you're fighting a Lord Ravager, I think Evernight should be out right now. And then we got Imbiber. The rest of the Trailblazers aren't canon now. Dude, that would be crazy. We have Sunday. And then we have Himeko using her briefcase. You know, it's kind of a random... This would be a random like part of the video I would love to see. I would love to know how Himeko made her briefcase. Like, how did she fit a saw blade in there? It's kind of a random ask, but it would be interesting to know. Evernight didn't come out for Fantalia. She didn't come out for Fantalia, but I also feel like that was a little bit different. Now, March and Evernight have a bit more of a connection.
Whether we chose this
That's so disrespectful. This is absolutely the most diabolical level of disrespect I've ever seen. just forehead flicks the Trailblazer on his mask off. Dude, absolutely diabolical. Diabolical. And walks away T-posing. What the fuck? This guy is crazy. I love him. I love him. Himeko isn't real. She's an imagine. Just like you didn't need to know how a person works to make a human imagine. I am like... I think so. I do think that Himeko... I'm leaning on the idea that Himeko is not... The Himeko we know is not the real Himeko. And is an imagine based on a wish. I'm still on that idea. Nah, Asat Pramad used disrespect and it was super effective. Look at that. This is cool. I also find it interesting. They made a full character like model for Graphia. And I'm hoping this is like a thing because they're gonna like starting to make NPCs a little bit more like better designed. It's true, they have been doing that. It almost makes me wonder if Graphia is gonna be like a playable character. That's Cope, but at the same time, like they gave her such dope abilities. Would the new Himeko be a fusion between R and the real one? Maybe. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like maybe it's not a good example because they do, but they like Ryusuke is still an NPC, but they dressed him up a little better. Kuchiba is up for debate. She has a really good design, but this looks like a playable character design. It doesn't look like a like well done NPC design, at least for now. Maybe she is, and maybe she'll pop up during one of like Himeko's parts. Noxa situation, or if Himeko Nova can change forms. I think it just highly depends on what it is. All right, let's see.
forced onto it.
Wow, that's interesting. What is she summoning? Are those little eyeballs? God, this fight would be so interesting. I'm also sad to not see Silverwolf as her full self, because an Asat Pramad versus Silverwolf situation, like Alpha Wolf, would be sick. That would be dope. Oh yeah, there is Cocolia. So I guess, I mean, yeah, I guess you're right. There was Cocolia. I forgot about that.
Leave no room.
And then this is cool. I'm wondering if this is like a monstrous version of the of the Astral Express because you have the little like thing here, but it doesn't. Maybe it's not. Maybe I'm looking too much into it.
Regret. Oh, denizens of this Arcadia, lost in its splendor. It was
Oh my god. All right, and then you see here. This is Amphorius Don Hung. I can't tell. This is. I think this is March, but I can't really tell. I feel like that's pink hair, and I don't know. That might be Himeko. The train could be previous version of the train Imagine in Planarcadia. Could be. And this is in the... I see. No, I thought he could, right? I thought he could use it. Oh, you're right. Maybe it is Yao Guang. Overnight. You might... Yeah, I think that is a Yao Guang, actually. You're right. Oh, here. We got it right here. Oh, it's Welt. Oh, yeah, you're right. It's Yao Guang's here. Welt's here. This is the other image. Bro is just T-posing on everyone. Yeah, no, he has the permanence ability. It is I, Asat Pramad. Dude is just T-posing everywhere. Yeah. I have appeared. I am the Mr. Meanie who delivered every promise to this Arcadia in advance. He is doing the pain. I wonder. I have to know. Okay, this would be fucked up, but I do feel like this is implying that Asat Pramad was hiding inside of Ryusuke. Because why else would this battle happen with Himeko and Ryusuke in the school? Mr. T Meanie. I hope I'm wrong, but I do feel like it's like that.
every promise of beauty to this Arcadia.
Yeah. Wait, hold on. That's definitely... Yeah. That's a train right there. This is definitely like a demented Astral Express. Oh, that's crazy. That is fucked. Pom Pom has to come out of nowhere with the train to save our asses. Dude. Pom Pom, save us, please. Is Asat Pramad and Himeko is Asat Pramad's daughter? Dude. Oh, that would be fucking crazy. That would be a twist. I'm not sure if I need that though. And then we got Alter. We got Blade Alter. I'm gonna start calling the angry versions of characters just alters right now for now. I was thinking Pom Pom was an Imagine. I feel like it would make sense that Pom Pom is that Aha and Akavelli came together, and Akavelli made a request of Aha to make someone that can watch over the Express. And Aha created a world in a sense that allowed for an Imagine to exist, specifically made in the Astral Express, and personified Pom Pom. Alter does fit so well. But I feel like Pom Pom is an Imagine version of the personification of the Astral Express, or it could be Aha. It could be, it could be Akavelli's kid. That'd be so hilarious. If Pom Pom is the love child of Akavelli and Aha. Did I just say that? Ryusuke died when he was trying to search for a cure for Himeko. Oh, that would be interesting. That would actually fit too, because in the post quest, with where they were trying to figure out how did the cells of Shuhu end up in Planarcadia, is that there was a whole entire conspiracy thing. It was supposed to be a bioweapon. Someone switched out the briefcase for the cells of Shuhu. I wish I did. Well, it's out there now. That's my new theory. Pom Pom is just the love child of Akavelli and Aha. What is he throwing at her? I thought that was a playing card at first. A second. Which would have fit? Okay, here. This is crazy. This is a crazy shot I'm so excited for. Look at that, dude. This is a crazy shot. Bro, yes, it's hollow purple. He does like the finger gun thing, which is from there's like a lot of ones like this. Dude, this is a crazy shot. Man, first of all, the balls on Himeko to be like, I'm gonna 1v1 a Lord Ravager with a fucking saw. I want to see her fight in this form, because honestly, we've never actually seen Himeko, a cutscene where Himeko actually like fights. My hair is doing like fucking crazy shit right now. Yeah, my hair's not being stupid, but we haven't seen a actual like cutscene or an example of how Himeko actually fights, other than that one time in the beginning where she draws, like she like calls out to the drones and stuff. Chainsaw Man versus Machina. Dude, this is so cool. God, I'm so excited for that part. I feel like this is the moment where maybe Asat Pramad like corrupts Himeko, and then that becomes the boss fight. I don't like that. I don't like that I'm saying that, but I feel like that's the case. And then we get Ashvale here. And this is interesting. They're in the tavern for this. So what is the reasoning why Ashvale is in the tavern and has the veracity acting up? Because I know the tavern was mentioned before. Because that means that the masked fools are involved somehow. Also, side note, really like quick random side note. As I was doing the recap video for 4.2, and I noticed there was a moment when they were talking about Full Wish getting her mask. And I did wonder if how did they know immediately that the mask that she got was for the tavern, was for the masked fools? And it wasn't for, like, the morning actors. Is there, like, a thing that you can tell immediately that someone's for the morning actors or the masked fools? Because it doesn't seem like it's the expression of the mask, because not all of the masks have expressions. Might just assumed. Yeah, it could be. Not all masks come from the morning actors. Only the original ones came from the morning actors. The original ones were stolen, but not all of the masks come from the morning actors. I know that much. Yeah, the morning actors do have masks, because it was the original masks were the morning actors. But now, after they started a new faction, they started getting masks as well. That's the assumption, at least, unless I'm remembering that wrong. And then we have this area with Welt. And then we have... What is this? What is going on with him? What the fuck? Holy shit, his arm's off. I just realized that. Evanesia is resting. She used too much of her abundance abilities to heal everyone, which I would have loved to see. I'm kind of sad we didn't see that part. I would have loved to see Evanesia use what her using her abundance abilities to heal people would have looked like. Because in a weird way, as much as we see abundance, we have yet to see the abundance actually heal jack fucking shit. We've seen the abundance heal absolutely nothing. Except for the one time with way back in the beginning with Don Hung and oh god, who's the guy that got what's his name again? Locha. Yeah. The one time we saw it was with Locha, and now the implication is like is that Evanesia healed the whole of the world of Planarcadia, and we didn't see any of it. The only abundance. Yeah, exactly. Like, we haven't seen the abundance actually like perform healing, which we know they're able to do because the elixir seekers. We've heard about them doing it, but we've actually yet to see them actually do it in the game, which is which is weird.
Prizes.
Okay. All right. There's nothing crazy here. I know that other than that, there's the I want to, before we go into the predictions, I wanted to go through the trailer for Blade 2. In the specific moment, the reason is it's a very serious trailer, by the way. Oh shoot, I forgot. Oh, if anyone, by the way, if anyone wants to chat in our Discord, I'm gonna put a pinned comment on our Discord real quick. I completely forgot to do that in the beginning of this stream. Yes. The Discord, in case anyone wants to join, you're free to join. Hang out. We talk as much as we want about Starrail and the Zenless. And I know some of you guys talk about Genshin. I know there's a lot going on with Genshin. I just personally haven't followed in a minute. I watch Ashikai videos for my Genshin lore. This is so interesting, is seeing like a actual version of Shuhu. Let me see. There was like a moment where we could see like Shuhu. And I know he's supposed to be a tree, but I wonder if it's actually supposed to be like, he is supposed to be a Groot, a Groot, like, or an or what are those called again? The Ents. That I know that's an interesting thing, is that he's in a prayer mode, and same with like Blade is doing it too. Wish Power using it as Prima Moleball that she noticed in the readable. Yes, I actually pulled it up. Let's go through that in a bit. I thought that was so interesting, but it makes sense. But it's also like, because that's the aspect for Imagenesis, it would also kind of lean into the path powers thing, which would be interesting. It does look like a sacrifice. I want to see if there's like a way we can. I think, yes, he would rather be a species of scrap metal than be a part of Shuhu. Shuhu, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think there's that many people who would want to be that. Yeah, okay, see, look. Here we go. I would love to see a version. I want to see like Shuhu in his prime. Like a hint or an artwork of actual Shuhu during the wars and everything, because it goes back to Blade and Ashvale's character stories where they fought Shuhu, and I would love to see like how Shuhu actually looked, because it's hard for me to imagine just a tree walking around, like, unless it's like a humanoid tree. Is it Forge? Yeah, I think so. And also there's a lot of Buddhist kind of what's the word? Buddhist, like Buddhist references with the chanting, the prayer stance, which very much leans into, as we were talking before, rebirth, because of the cycle rebirth in Buddhism. The samsara. I mean, they use samsara so much in this story. In all of their Hoyo stories, they love samsara. It's gonna be next. A propagation planet. I'm kind of leaning on equilibrium, actually. Tomato, yeah.
The sharp blade must first be broken. Tempered.
Buddhism and inhalation as well. There's a lot of Buddhist references in Star Rail. I in one of my original Eon theories that was that I thought that the paths and how they were being followed was actually a reflection on Buddhism. And the reason why, and if you guys don't remember, is that how Buddhism works. I mean, there's a lot of versions. Please do not use me as a reference for Buddhism. I'm not as much as a practicing Buddhist as much as I should be. But how it typically works is this concept of following a philosophy. And the more you apply yourself into the philosophy, you become more akin to to parts of Buddhism. And I forgot the exact word, but it's I think it's a psalm or something like that, where at some point you get enlightened from following that path of philosophy. So for those who don't know, there's multiple forms, there's multiple Buddhas. There's a lot of different Buddhas. And the idea is that you can become a Buddha yourself by being enlightened. And then there's two forms. There's like different types of enlightenment in a sense, but one is that you've enlightened yourself, but not to the full value, which is kind of what I said was the reflection of I think it's like a dispo or something like that, but it's a reflection of an emanator, and full on enlightenment is a reflection of an eon. And that was kind of like my thoughts on the Buddhism references. Yeah. Wait, is the patch out? It's not out, is it? Arat, thank you, Arat. I thought it was the spot. No, I was wrong. Yeah, Arat, you're right. There we go. Yeah, Buddhism is less of a religion. It's not really a religion. It's an applied philosophy that a lot of take this with a grain of salt. My personal thought is that Buddhism is a applied philosophy that they put on top of a lot of Asian-based cultural religions, like Shintoism and stuff like that, and they apply the philosophies and the Buddhas in there.
Escape is no longer possible.
Okay. I think that was the main thing I wanted to pull out. But also, I just want to say, like, this is a sweet moment. Wait. Oh, wait. This is another, like, huge Buddhist reference. This, I think, is, like, one of the weapons or things used by, like, the equivalent of the Buddhist demons. I don't exactly remember, but it's, like, I don't remember the name of this, but it is something that is normally used. Exactly, it is. But this is such a sweet moment. This is so sweet. Look at that. And he goes back to his family. Oh, so cute. But kind of I've said this a lot. I'm not gonna say it in this thing, but I do want to see a new Stellaron Hunter. I think more than actually seeing an SP or an upgrade for Firefly or Kafka, I want another Stellaron Hunter to join. That's like number one. Oh yeah, like the Promessa Terra trailer. Wait, that's actually such a good point. Yeah, Vajra. There we go. That's what I was referencing. Dude, I just do not remember these stuff off top. Yeah, Vajra? Is it Vajra? Yeah. Vajra. Yep. Sacred in Hinduism, Buddhism, and Jainism. This one right here, right? I remember the first time seeing it, and it was it represents indestructible enlightened a state of enlightenment. I do remember the first time seeing it. It was like in like Soul Reaper back when that was a thing. The fact that they are focusing so much on him being like Silverwolf's father figure, it makes me think he's gonna die saving here, go berserk. Dude, don't say that. He is. I don't know, man. I don't know. They would not kill off Blade. There's no way in me or if they do so, it would be like temporary. He gets rebirth. Asat did say that he'd make Civil's Past come back as a spicy comedy. Oh, that would. Oh yeah, he did say that. Would be rough. Blade cannot die. I refused. I would believe I would believe the Star Rail devs would be quicker to kill off a Trailblazer or one of the Nameless than they would to kill off a Stellaron Hunter. People love the Stellaron Hunters so much. They love the Stellaron Hunters. There's no way as a business decision that they would think that's a good idea unless it's within the next patch they come back. I cannot. There's no way in my hearts of hearts that I would believe. Main characters in mainstream anymore. They didn't even have the balls to kill Fu Hua in the same game. Yeah, I don't think they would do it. I also know that they're gonna be I'd be shocked. I'd be very shocked. I'll give it to them if they do it. That would be very shocking. All right, let's go into the story predictions time. All right, what are we doing? Yeah, that was crazy. That attack obviously bad moment, but at the same time, like, that was crazy. That is absolutely insane. That was something happened. I would say that if they were going to kill off a mainline character, they would kill off Himeko before Blade. Just my thought. I mean, they would, if they do kill off Blade, it would be like temporary. I just don't think it would happen. For 500. Himeko is Imagine. I actually stand by this statement. I think she's gonna be, let's say, not necessarily Imagine, but let's say like a creation of some sort. A Himeko that we know is not the real one. Yes. Imagine. Let's go with that. Himeko is the only reason Welt is in HSR. I don't know about Himeko. Who's going to replace her as a navigator? I'm not saying that they would kill her off. I'm just thinking that if it was going to happen, it would be. I just don't see it happening. But I think theoretically, Welt would be the navigator. Because the navigator is an actual navigator. Like, I don't think there's... Look, that's a stupid word. It's not a title. It's like an actual, like, job. And I don't think any of the actual crew members could be able to do it. They didn't show a shadow drop for a weekly boss. I don't think so, no. They didn't. They actually didn't even show this boss in the live stream. Like, they didn't show... Which is good. I like that they didn't do that. Himeko, no, the real one, while the wheelchair is Asat. Oh, interesting. Yeah, mapping the astral charts. What I'm saying is that I don't think anyone else but Himeko herself could do that on the crew. Like, I actually, like, the closest person would probably be Dan Heng. Dan Heng probably was the only one who could actually do the astral charts other than Himeko. Dude, if the Trailblazer becomes a navigator, we're going straight to Washtopia. Oh yeah, download the patch. I think, I pre-downloaded it. Yeah. I'm so glad they didn't show it either. I'm very, very glad they didn't show it. That was like my #1 complaint with the live streams, is that they didn't show it. I'm also more partial. I mean, I like whenever the devs come out and talk, but I'm also much more partial to seeing Albert. But that's also because I really like Albert. I hope... This is cope, but I really do hope we get a playable Albert one day. Oh, thank you, Chaos, just for subscribing. You think more Arbiter Generals will show up? I don't know if they will show up, but I think Himeko is not the real one. Imagine. I'm not even sure if I spelled that right. I can't even say Asat Pramad shows up, but like, How about this? Ryusuke. Oh, Ryusuke is disguised Asat Pramad. There we go. I think that's that. I think that would be good. What version is Pearl gonna be playable? No leaks. Everyone just take a guess though. But unless you know, that's the only thing I'll say. Screwlum and Annihilation Gang will talked about it in the stories. Trust. Ooh. I think this will be a deep cut. I think Stephen Lloyd will show up. And we're talking about Genius Society members. I'm not sure about Screwlum. I do want Screwlum to show up. I think Screwlum will show up in Astropolis as the Genius Society representative. Because I feel like Genius... I feel like... I said this in like our Discord. For Astropolis, which is cool, I just feel like Astropolis, where they get the Anti-Destruction Alliance to come together, it doesn't make any sense to have any other Genius Society member other than Screwlum. Because none of them are really reliable in the sense of actually like coming together to do something, except for Herta when it's like a dire emergency. Yeah. What about the Galaxy Ranger shoot? Dude, I put that she'll show up. I put that the Galaxies will show up. The Galaxy Rangers will show up for the last 3 patches, and they have not shown up since. Oh yeah, I said Stephen Lloyd will show up and will be mentioned. Will be mentioned or shown in the story. I feel like that's gonna be a thing. Yeah, might come true. I'm like burned, dude. That is true. There was one time I forgot what was the theory, where I put this one thing in the Amphoria stuff when I started doing the predictions, and I put one every single time. And the one time I didn't put it, it actually happened. I forgot exactly what it was. Yeah, I just I would like to talk about the Astropolis stuff though afterwards. I just think it's so just seeing the representatives for each one would be so interesting. Still wondering about the Cat Ranger. See, I think that the Ranger one is that they're not they are in Planarcadia, though. I was about to say that they might be in Astropolis instead of Planarcadia, but no, they are in Planarcadia. It's been shown that Rappa is in Planarcadia right now. So why haven't they shown up yet in the story? What else? What else? They actually shown a lot already. So I'm like trying to figure out what else do we think. What's another prediction you guys have? They're busy. Leave them alone. No, that's the thing is they're actually in Planarcadia. They just still haven't showed up. They showed up in the side quests. That's gonna be definitely Astropolis. Graphia is a nameless is a good one. Yeah, that one's true. Graphia is a nameless. Oh my god, I opened up the code. Graphia being a nameless. Graphia is a nameless. I think that's almost a given. I don't know, maybe. I want to say that on top of that, let's do Graphia's staff or brush. Brush is made from the Panarch Elwood. Evanesia. Did I spell that right? No, we'll leave it for now. Did I spell that right? More Lord Ravage will show up. Vita TBD. Vita is I don't know about Vita right now. Vita Mecha. I feel like the Mecha is just the Astral Express just transformed. Graphia is nameless. Stephen Lloyd, Ryusuke. Well, I'm leaving Graphia's nameless because it wasn't confirmed, just so we have one that's like almost a given. Because the more I've done this with you guys, the more I've gotten these wrong. Not saying that we're bad at this, but like we need some gimmies, please. Okay, we need a little bit of gimme. You know, I am actually like interested. Speaking of like the former navigators, what is it? Dolly navigator, Dolly HSR. You know, one thing that we haven't talked about since Amphorius is the pure children of Anastrava. I don't know why, and this is maybe just because of the song. I keep thinking of of sweet child of mine whenever I say the hold on. Yeah. Dolly, we've now almost confirmed, is a pure child of Anastrava, which is kind of crazy. Asat Pramad is a emanator of elation. Smile. I'm almost guaranteed the guy is. I have a theory that Asat Pramad was actually with the dice head. I actually think that he might have been one of the pieces of Aha themselves. Like Aha threw out like a version of himself, or like one of the seeds that would become an emanator, and one of those seeds just never got picked up or something like that, and it was a dice. And the dice became sentient, and it became Asat Pramad. Yeah, no, like if you read on Dolly, it's crazy. Musician from TFO, drawing inspiration and achievements from Machiavelli, described as emotional, empathetic person, rich in imagination. In her active period, many passengers boarded the Astral Express just to listen to her voice. Even Machiavelli themselves returned to Express personally to speak with her. Dolly, Nameless sensed the fall of when the Nameless sensed the fall of Machiavelli, Dolly's mysterious condition that began to crystallize her as her so started to show. She continuously sang for 3 days. And it's the crystallization that's kind of interesting. There's an aspect where she does sound like Harmony, but there's another thing where in the story quest we found out, kind of in a weird way, that pink hair is not a natural hair color, implied to be not a natural hair color in the Star Rail universe. Because of that one guy who asked Evanesia. I swear these names are getting harder every single fucking patch. Asked Evanesia, was like, oh, you dyed your hair. And it's like, no, this is natural, which kind of implies that pink hair isn't natural. Yeah, it's not an indication. You're right. It's not an indication of being a pure child of Nasrva. Not 100% so. But I do think that means something. If we now know that 100% somewhat that hair color is not a that the hair color is not natural. 100% you're right. It's not a full indication of being a pure child of Nasrva, but it's just something interesting to know by. See, the parasitic emanator theory, and this is kind of one thing I want to go into. I guess since we're already on this, is that we've been getting a lot more indication of emanators and emanator level characters. And I guess this is kind of like makes sense with as the story progresses in a lot of like anime like settings and stories. Like as the characters get stronger and stronger, they face stronger and stronger people, and stronger people naturally show up more in the story. And so there was an interesting thing said during the story quest where let me just pull up my own recording of this. It makes things a lot easier. Here, let me just pull the playthrough. Oh wait, no, it's my other channel now. I forgot about that. Where I think it was in here that they talked about, it was like Asat Pramad like pointed out who is an emanator inside of right here. Emanators. The emanators you speak are nothing more than a tenth of a pebble, a piece of wood. All right, Jordan, shut up. I'm not. And a warlord.
So
here we go.
these people are.
This is such a crazy drop from Asat Pramad. I think this is a wild drop that it was just that kind of clarifies a lot of things about emanators. And there was a very interesting comment on, I think it was actually this video. Maybe I'll try to find it, or maybe if it's one of you guys. But there was a mention that someone said that, is there like tiers to emanators now, where there's like a if you play Fate, then there's like a grand servant. So if there's like a higher tier emanator that gets a lot more of the natural path powers that come from the path that is opened up from the Eon, and are there those that get less? And there are obviously those that are aspects of the Eon, like the Harmony has all of the Harmony's emanators are just like literally personifications of the Harmony from different ways. There's always been tiers, but it's never really been like expressly said. You know what I mean? In a way, the warlords she's implying about is the generals, and so if that's the case, with the funny thing is actually with a piece of wood with Evanescia. Evanescia, I actually don't think is Evanescia herself right now is nothing too crazy. The implication is the original Evanescia, like the actual Evanescia that she's keeping locked away, that became the Planarch Elwood, is actually fucking insane. Because if you think about it, she said in the moment at near the end of the boss fight with Full Wish, that she can wipe out all 200,000 people that went through the happiness surgery like that, which is like insane. Yeah, it makes sense for there to be tiers depending on how much access. I think it makes a lot of sense. It's just like this is the first time it's actually implied that, for one thing, Pearl is now considered an quote-unquote emanator, because it also clarifies the point that emanators, quote, are just the term is just getting access to the path somehow directly, and whether that is through another emanator or is whether that's through the Eon themselves. It could be also just a 1/10 of ish. It could also just be like he's saying that 1/10 of Diamond. Hello. Be an Evernight situation, complete control in their domains. I feel like the pure children of Nosferatu have to be like full-scale powerhouses. Akron, Diamond, Silverwolf, just like Fulhon, Asheville. These are just different tiers than a Jingyuan. There are tiers for both among the same path and among different paths compared to each other. That's true. It for better or worse, and I'm not saying this is a good thing or not. Star Rail has always been very wishy-washy in their definitions. They never want to lock themselves into something. And so way back when in 1.0 and 2.0, the term emanator was just the sign of someone absolutely insane, like an Akron level character. But now it's just like a confirmation of like, no, it's not. It's just the meaning of that they can receive power. They're just more powerful as a Path Strider. So I think it's just interesting that this is the first. I'm not saying that there was never one, but this is the first indication, like 100%. There is like there's tiers to this. There's levels to this. And I guess even within the Lord Ravagers as well. I mean, yeah, like Pearl, Evanescia, Yao Guang. I mean, in terms of the Evernight thing, like it's very possible that he just there's very possible he just didn't mention everyone. To be fair, I thought Emanator means it's a power directly from the Eon. It's just a high chance that it's really powerful because the being is more direct. Yeah, exactly. All an Emanator is, as far as we currently know, is that if they just receive a blessing and acknowledgement, blessing, or direct power from an Eon. And so now with the parasitic emanator thing, it's kind of proven somewhat true, because we've seen that people can have just become emanators from being pieces of an Eon. And this is kind of why I think that Asat Pramad is actually just a piece of Aha, is because of this right here. Where's her trailer? Dude, they drop by the way, they drop so much content for Silverwolf. Like, look at all of this content for Silverwolf compared to everyone else. It's crazy. But there's like this moment here. I want to find this part. Yeah. This one. It's the most replayed place.
Leader of this cartridge?
Yeah, I know. Just me. I know this is your favorite character.
The cartridge is no more than a seed thrown down by the god on a whim.
See, right here, I think my theory is that Asat Pramad, he could be an Imagine that was also made from Aha, and that's like kind of where, similar to the Phantasm Moon. But what I think is that Asat Pramad might actually be I'm thinking that he might actually be one of the seeds thrown down from Aha that then became sentient, because Aha, it's like a bunch of flies. There's a fly somewhere here. What the hell? How'd you even get in? Aha has all these like little circus and games, and I must look crazy. Aha has all these circus and games and stuff like that. And I think that one of the things that popped out was a dice. And that's the reason why he has a dice head. That doesn't make sense. Asa is confirmed to be Emanator Destruction. Yes, but the thing is, just because you're a piece or a part of an Eon, that doesn't necessarily mean you can't follow another path. There's one thing that we've seen before is that there's people that are like, even Dan Heng, for example, is the literal descendant of an Eon of permanence, and while he does follow permanence, he is on the Trailblaze path. Yeah. Ah, just made a fly sentient. Yeah, I mentioned Aha, and there's a fucking fly that came out in there just annoyed the shit out of me. The fly is an elation emanator. This fly is getting crazy. It's the worm all over again. I really want to make a video. Another video I'm planning on making is kind of how Eons pick out their emanators, because I think it's fascinating, and I really like Aha's approach for an emanator, is that he just throws out the key to become an emanator, and is like, if you want to be it, figure it out. And I think that's such a cool thing, is that he has, like, almost in a weirdest way, he has the most like actual system to figure out like an emanator, and it fits him very well. Celanova was one of the harmony chords before becoming yes, he became Celanova was one of the harmony chords for, I believe it was Alavina, the Sword Maiden one. By the way, crazy one things. I'll be like, do you want it? We don't care. Exactly. That's what I think is so fascinating about Aha, is that it very much matches who they are. They just throw out these things that could become useful for a specific nation. And so, like I'm thinking that the masked fools from the mask for the masked fools, while they're gifts from Aha, and the reason why not all the masked fools are like emanators is because they're seeds. And it's up to the masked fools themselves to figure out what to do with it. And it might be that it's an answer to trauma. And because it's been stated a few times that the masked fools, each and every one of them, receive it at a time that's like really tough in their lives or something like that, like the worst times. And so I'm wondering if maybe the way they is about overcoming that hardship that allows them to take a test from Aha. The most I'm curious about is nihility. Considering the path, there shouldn't be any emanator. There shouldn't be any eon on the path that yet they exist. So that's kind of leaning onto the parasitic emanator thing, right? They don't care. It's really up to the person. They just kind of spread their path powers. They spread their like prima mobile, or like their version, their imaginary energy of nothingness. People get absorbed into it, and whoever comes out of the other side essentially and absorbs that nihility, in a sense becomes an emanator of nihility, it seems like. Nihilix being an Aha themselves, I don't know. I feel like Nihilix is an emanator relation. In the opposite sense of Silverwolf, where Silverwolf received a seed, I think Nihilix represents the full scale of emotions, where she was a masked fool and she was a morning actor, and she is kind of like combining those together. watching breakfast. What you eating for breakfast, bro? What are you eating for breakfast? I know you're on your gain stuff, right? I'm excited, dude. I hate that I'm excited. I didn't want to pull for. I think I missed out on Evanescia because I was like so in between getting her and Blade, because I wanted to make my Asheville as strong as possible. I ended up just waiting for Blade. Nihilix was not just a morning actor; she was also a masked fool, which is a crazy confirmation that she was both. By the way, I am also going to use the restroom, so I'll be right back. Give me 1 second. I am back. Finality Emanator would be interesting. See? Oh, dude, it's 100% Elio. Guaranteed Elio. Elio is 100%. I would bet so much. That Elio is a finality Emanator. Why, that was fast? I just need to use the restroom real quick. Been drinking so much water. That's the thing about when I'm doing these streams. I think it's different from other people. Because they're lore chats, I constantly have to talk about the lore. I knock out one of these waters so quickly. I washed my hands. I did. I promise. These are wet. Well, no, I shouldn't have said that. That's weird. Wash my hands. Why are all the V4 characters Aha instance on their art, but Nihilix is Aha origin? Sure you did. I did. Yeah, and you are. I guarantee it. Trailblazer also be a finality emanator, just them. I think it just, I don't know. That one's depending on the origin of the Trailblazer, I feel like. Oh yeah, we should probably go back to the predictions. Himeko, we know is not the real one. I'll put this in the background. What music do you want in the background? We'll do a part Elpis theme. Can I post my updated version of Parasitic Emanators paragraph in the Discord? Yeah, feel free to. You're always free to post like your theories on the Honkai Theories Discord thing. Actually, we don't have an Asat theory. I'm trying to think what else would be a good. What else would be a good theory? What good prediction? I feel like these are getting play Billy mode. I would play the Billy mode, but it's too much. I wouldn't be able to think. I would not be able to think. I love that song though. That's possibly the best EP they ever made. Do you think SB characters are how they'll make playable characters who are emanators? I think so. I think for sure they're gonna make they hinted so much that Evanescence has an alter form. There's no that is like the full scale power of her that fought Marshall Hua. It would be also very interesting to see if we ever get to the point where the full Evanescence gets to sees Marshall Hua again. That would be so crazy. But yeah, no, I think what's Billy mode? It's from ZZZ. It's like it's the new Billy EP. Are they gonna do the story Fate story part 2? I could almost bet they're probably just gonna do a just part 2 of the original story. Like they was like, oh, we're gonna do the Fate story again, part 2. No Scott this time. Maybe that's why they killed off Scott. When we get Fuhua, they could show her fighting with Ava. Oh, that would be sick. I was saying that I really want to see Evanescia's like true form. I would love to see the original flowing kimono sword dancer. I want her to look like, oh, who's the... This is a deep cut from like the Fate community. Oh my god, who's that one chick with the really, really long sword from FGO? Not FGO, Garden of Sinners. Who's the Garden of Sinners girl? Sinners, katana. Oh, who's the Garden of Sinners? Like, if anyone knows what I'm talking about, God, oh my god. Shiki, yeah, Shiki. Thank you for whoever like pointed that out. Like I'm like imagining Evanescence full form to be something like this. It doesn't really show it here, but she has a long fucking sword. Like insanely long sword. Garden Sinners was great. Sometimes I think about going back into the FGO and I'm like, nah, you know what? I'm good. I think about it sometimes. I just couldn't. I left FGO because I couldn't get past. It was the Avalon LaFay was just too good of a story and they couldn't top it. There was no way they could top it. Yay Sakura form would be sick too. Yay Sakura form would be sick. I just feel like a long fucking katana would have worked really, really well with a sword dancer. I just think it would work really, really well. What in the time capsule? Oh, dude, it's been I haven't watched a lot of the. I've watched a few recent anime, but I think about it like a lot of the older ones, man. Dude, same. FGO is just too much sometimes. Black hair Miyabi. You have Yun Lee for that. I want to see I don't think this is ever gonna happen. I would love to see if they do like a future like end game, like end game far in the future of Star Rail, when they're doing the final war of abundance, because I think that's gonna happen. I feel like Endgame Star Rail, like the final part of the story, they're gonna have a final fight between the Xianzhou and the Abundance, and I would love to see a grown-up version of Yun Li and oh my god, what is his name, dude? I keep forgetting his name. That's not even on purpose. It's oh fucking oh, Yanqing. God damn it. Yeah, Yanqing. I would love to see a grown-up version of Yanqing and Yun Li. I blank on his name so much now. I think I've gotten too many 50-50 losses, and it's just scarred in my brain. And I just have to, like, it's too much for me to handle. And then now I just lose it any single time that I have to remember his name. Yeah, Bai Hong 2. Please. Dude, I want playable Bai Hong so badly. We were just talking about this earlier. I want it so badly, dude. So badly. Like, older version of all of them, I would love to see that. I want so badly to see them, like, grown up. Because I feel like that would be a great progression of timeline in the story. And it's kind of confirmed that the story matches the actual, in terms of timeline, it actually matches 1-to-1 to the actual current, to like real time, which is interesting. Do you think Yun Li would wear shoes? I don't think she would wear shoes. I think that would be the joke. Who do you think would be the oldest member of the Astro Express once we know all? Okay, so Dan Heng is Dan Heng is not. Unless we're not counting the 1,000 years he spent. Because Dan Heng is technically young. Trailblazer is a bit weird. Trailblazer isn't. I think technically it's March. If we're counting the fact, if we're counting of when she was like an icicle, then yeah, I think technically it would be March. It would be March. It's definitely not well. It's not Himeko. We getting Himeko's. It's funny because we know almost exact age of Himeko. March is from the beginning end of the universe, which is hilarious. Oh my god, the time paradox on the from the garden of remembrance is crazy. The time paradox for them is absolutely wild. It's so funny that he's the old man and like everyone else is older than him. Pom Pom is the oldest? He might be. Pom Pom actually might be the oldest. It's either Pom Pom or March as of right now. The kawaii and the goth. What a fucking statement, dog. All right, what else is there? If there's any chill music recommendations, we love them. So, playable Pom Pom, dude. I feel like they would give us playable Albert before they give us playable Pom Pom. I just don't think I don't see it happening, dog. Do we know who the first Eon is? Long is the first Eon. I think it's not confirmed who's the first Eon. It's confirmed it's one of 3. It's either Long, Klapoth, or someone else. And Long, Klapoth, and Ouroboros, I believe is one. It's one of the 3, but I believe it's Long. Oh, Ho-Oh, you're right. Ho-Oh is one of the other ones. It's Ouroboros. Yeah, because I don't think it's Klapoth. It was mentioned that there are 3 of the oldest ones, but I'm pretty sure Klapoth was in response of Ouroboros. So yeah, Justme, you might be right. Long makes sense. Long is literally life. I feel like Long is the one that is probably the one that like developed life. Possible for Eon to not ascend, instead they're just born an eon of the path? I don't think so, because the whole point is that an eon is the epitome of a path. So they would have to become be the embodiment of that path in order for it to work. Fully's the youngest and the oldest. How Fully shouldn't be in this conversation. Fully's the epitome of that one meme from Doctor Who, where they're like, time is a wibbly wobbly, timey wimey thing. Shippei is way farther. Shippei is actually one of the newer ones. Not newest, but one of the newer ones. That's so much Fully out of the way. I just don't want to deal with that. I just do not want to deal with that one, yeah. Yeah, you want to hear like a crazy paradoxical question is like who's youngest? Who's the youngest or oldest? It's like either Terminus or Fully. And it's like you just can't figure it out. Okay, yeah, no, thank you, Odinate. I'm so sorry, I'm probably pronouncing your name wrong, but yeah, I was referencing that data. That was either Ho-Oh or Boros Long or Enna. I think I mixed up Ho-Oh and Klopoth in my head though. You think we'll see a playable or NPC ascend to an Eon? Late in the game. I would imagine they turn into Terminus at the end of the game, whenever that happens. I don't. Well, if they have anything to say with it, they probably won't make it happen for a while. Let's see what else. What else is a prediction? We always get like lost in this like discussions, but it's always fun. It's always fun. Yeah, the Terminus and Fully thing is weird because Terminus is so there's a weird paradox with Terminus because Terminus is supposed to be born at the beginning of the first indication of the 4 apocalypses theory, which is that the 4 paths that will bring the world to finality. Whenever the first one occurs, then Terminus will rise, which is a weird thing because you would think it'd be the last one, as that's the end of the world, right? But it's the first one, and so Terminus ascends at the first indication of the end of the universe, and they go backwards in time. In a sense, to help try to stop it from happening, is what I've gotten. But there's a weird thing with that, is that why would it be at the end of time? And there would also be a weird thing where, if that's true, and there's like a theory about Acavelli turning into Terminus, Acavelli rose when the destruction began. But then we're also post that now because Acavelli already fell. So there's like a kind of a weird, thing. Cyrenes in ZZZ. Oh, I did. Remiel Dan from ZZZ. I shouldn't have said that. In case that some people aren't actually caught up. But yeah, Cyrenes in the new patch of ZZZ, or the new season. That's going to be interesting. It's going to be a story like no other. That's Elio's goal. Imagine if the whole Astro Express crew ascends. There is a theory about that. Is that that March will become Fully. The main character will become. I'm not sure how I feel about it, but the main character will become Terminus. Dan Heng will ascend as Long or something like that, or like another version of Long. Another interesting thing is that I do wonder, because we've never seen an example of this, is that can another Eon take over a dead Eon's path? Like, can someone take over Long, the permanence? Can someone take over for the Beauty? Can someone take over for the Trailblaze? Into Mythos? That would be a kind of funny flip, is that if Shippei did, but Shippei created a new path, which I'm considering different. Shippei absorbed the previous path of order and created a new path, but I'm saying specifically in the same path. Yeah, the path doesn't end. That's the weird part. So, technically speaking, Also, another thing is, Enna Rising proves that you could revive a dead Eon, which is crazy too. So it's always a weird thing with that. By the way, I love this theme. This was Seaside. This is the Seafeld City, in Seafeld City theme from the last patch. Was the closest one to become fully? Yeah. Let's see. All right, we gotta get another 5. I'm trying to think of another 5. Evanesia. I'm trying to think what else would be on here. I'm trying to think. What else? Deep lore about Aha. Oh yeah, actually, that would be good. I don't think anything, to be honest with you, I don't think anything about Asat Pramad will be revealed. Maybe that's my prediction. I just don't think that Asat Pramad's like lore will be revealed now. Galaxy Ranger appear for sure. You know what? Fuck it. You know what? This is gonna... I will put Galaxy Rangers will appear. It just needs to happen. Is revealed to be... No, you know what? I could believe Himeko becoming an emanator of Trailblaze. I had an old-ass theory. Old theory. That... Himeko would become an emanator of Trailblaze. Or Himeko is an emanator of Trailblaze, but because there is no Eon, she is technically not. But she has all the qualifications. I don't think the Sunday taking out and Robin will show up, because I don't think Robin's going to go in Planarcadia. She's going to go to Astropolis. That's my thing. Robin will arrive in Planarcadia Trust. I think she's just going to be in Astropolis, because she says she's only going to Astropolis. Anything about Kuchiba? Oh, you're right. I forgot about Kuchiba. You know, that's so funny you mentioned that. When I was doing the recap the other day when I was writing it, I had because so many things happened, I completely forgot that the Phantasmoon announced that the winner of the Phantasmoon games will replace them as the Eon of Elation. I completely forgot about that point, which is crazy because that was such a big thing. About Ryusuke, I said Ryusuke was disguised Asat Pramad. Disguised Asat Pramad. Let's see. I do like the idea of maybe... Well, this is also maybe true already. Ryusuke, the original Ryusuke, made a deal with Asat Pramad that saved Himeko. Something like that. I do want to put something about Kuchiba, but I'm not even sure she'll show up, to be honest with you. Like, it doesn't seem like her patch. The fact that of becoming Eon permanently is fake. Oh, we could do that, like the Asat. I'm not sure. I just don't know if that would be... 4.3 is such a weird patch because it's not nearly enough to the end where I feel like they're going to do a lot of the big lore drops. But I am like almost for sure it's Asat Pramad that did the thing. We can write it in if we don't have anything else, Bo. For now. Controlling the what was it? Controlling the Phantasmoon. Oh yeah, I was thinking kind of a random funny thing I was thinking about is I was thinking about adding a channel on the Discord for like music, for people who want to share and talk about music. Dude, I love this boss theme. It's such a fun boss theme. Veracity lore drop. Ooh, wait. Actually, that's a good one. There has to be something about the veracity. I mean, it's guaranteed there will be a lore drop, but we need something like tangible to go with this. I think Graphia powers come from. Oh, a blend of elation and abundance. Because I think Graphia's brush is from the Planarch Elwood, and because it's golden, it's a tree, and obviously Imagenesis is an ability of elation. I would like to say, I just don't think that they're gonna mention the 4 Apocalypse thing now. It's just too early. Wait, what about something with Blade? Oh, here, Blade. Yeah, one of the first things we talk about, Blade will be reborn. Thank you for the subscription, Strike Wolfie. Thank you so much. Blade will be a reborn as a mortal. I need to have like a thing to say when people subscribe. Thank you though. I really appreciate it. Blade gonna die. Blade shower scene because it's in the script. Yo, they were wild for that. They were like, hey, we're going to give the Blade lovers exactly what they want. I was the one who delivered the promise of beauty in advance, or something like that. It was referring to the fact that he anticipated in advance the Phantasm games. Oh. Wait, you're talking about the original Phantasm games? Oh, you know what about Asat Pramad? Here, actually, instead of the one controlling me, because I feel like it's too obvious, was the one who brought Shuhu's cell to Planarcadia. Which one? That's the fact that you only 15 years pass. Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that one. That the only 15 years has passed for between the Phantasm games, and that the original one was like, it's usually like 50. I was the one who was. So there's gonna be a lore drop. Oh, for sure. Blade dies, then become mortal. That's what I'm thinking. Like, you are the fan service in the Blade script. Elio was like, we don't have Kafka for now. Here's Elio. He's showering too. You're welcome. Elio really doing the fans out here a solid. The truth of the Phantasmoon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You know what? That's actually a good point, Haru. Because we actually didn't... You know, it is a very confusing thing, is that it's called the Phantasmoon Games. But from what we've heard is that the actual Phantasmoon hasn't really been like a big thing in the development of the games. Because the games is supposed to be a ritual to lock up the veracity. So, in a weird way, the Phantasmoon in the Phantasmoon games actually doesn't really... we don't know the thing about it yet, which is an interesting thing. Because the Phantasmoon, from what we understand, absorbs the wish power. Unless it's like the vessel that takes in the wish power in order to feed it to the veracity. It's interesting because we haven't actually gotten an idea of what does a Phantasmoon actually do. I don't know, maybe if it was called something else, but it was always implied because the original story was that whether or not this is a lie or not, the 8 morning actors sent their wishes to Aha through the Phantasmoon. But all things point to the Phantasmoon has nothing really indications for any of the important aspects of the Phantasmoon games. The Phantasmoon is the Holy Grail? Nah, that would be fucking... Wait, that would be crazy if the 4.4... the what's it called? The Fate collab is just the Phantasm Moon is the Holy Grail and starts bleeding black goo and stuff. Oh my god. It's implied that that was the case. That Aha created this not necessarily to fight Ouroboros, but to that he created what's it called? So there's an interesting readable when you during the SU or in Simulated Universe or as a DU now, that Aha fought Ouroboros and lost their head, and that's why they have masks. And so Aha somehow fought the most dangerous Eon in the universe and won. And he's supposedly not that powerful. So he one thing or another he tricked them or something like that. But somehow he won, and the idea is that he sealed the remains inside of Planarcadia, took a tree from or a branch from Yaosha's garden, planted it in Planarcadia to ensure that it's kind of sealed away, and it made the Phantasm Moon games as a ritual. That's all been confirmed, by the way. None of that is like theory. That's all confirmed already. Aha is now infected with veracity. That's kind of where I'm thinking that Aha is infected with veracity, and maybe why there's a lot of indications and connections with elation and abundance. Not necessarily because of what has to do with each other, but more so that the elation needs the abundance because Aha is not fully in a good state. Let's see. You know, I would love to play some more like Persona 3 background checks, but I did get copyright strikes when I put Persona 3 games. Weirdly enough, specifically Persona 3. Took, steal, did without asking. Yeah, basically. Maybe Aha is now infected with veracity. Yeah. Somewhat related question, but what's the next weekly boss gonna be, do you think? I don't know. They've been doing a boss fight every single patch. I'm actually surprised it's not this one. I'm surprised it wasn't Full Wish. I was for sure thinking that Full Wish was gonna be the next one. Oh. Yeah. What do you mean about the moon? Oh, the moon, like... What I was saying about the moon is that it's just the Phantasm Moon. We just don't know anything about the Phantasm Moon. Like anything about the Phantasm Moon has nothing to do with the actual ritual, which is the funny thing. It's the really really weird part. Yasha's just calm about it. She's kind of calm about everything. She affects the world with a fucking zombie virus, and she's like, yeah, you know, I'm trying to save lives. Kingdom Hearts. Oh yeah, I completely that was playing. I found, oh yeah, kind of shout out to Jay Phillips. I found this random like thing for the Dearly Beloved remix. He put together all of the Dearly Beloved ones, and it's so good. It's so good for anyone who was a Kingdom Hearts kid. Also, I heard Kingdom Hearts like 4 coming out at some point. I don't even think Yoshi thinks she's cursing a planet, and it's just like. She just like throws in a curse and throws in like a blessing and was like, I'm helping you. Here's life. I'm going to let this play out and then we're going to figure this out. My problem with the cake of God theory is the reason why Aha fought Ouroboros. I see no reason for Aha to do that. Like, let's go through. It seemed like back then the Eons fought, which is a crazy idea if you think about it. But... to protect the world. I just don't know exactly how Aha won is my question. Moderation, I think. You know, when he pushes the push comes to shove, he fought against the swarm after all. Wasn't there like a thing? Wasn't it a thing where he like he tricked all of the masked fools in the tavern? I forgot. There's a readable about this where there was a thing during the Swarm disaster, or if it was the Mechanical Emperor's War, where he tricked all the tavern like members to go and fight, and it was just a joke, something like that, right? Well, yeah, if the universe is in danger, Aha will fight for it because he loses his sense of entertainment, or it loses his sense of entertainment. Made them carry a Nihility memory bubble. What a guy. Honestly, Abundance is my favorite god over here. She's so unhinged. They, them, not it. Yeah, you're right. Sorry. It is, that is my bad. I think there, you know what? I will put this. Lore about the Phantasmoon. Lore about specifically the Phantasmoon and its part in the ritual. All right. This is the final list out of 10. What do you guys think? I'm down to change some stuff. I feel like with the Galaxy Ranger ones, it's just me begging, please. I don't think Kuchiba. I feel like I know I know a lot of my community was thinking that Kuchiba was has to do with the veracity. I'm still leaning on the idea that she's part of the marketing development department, because we just need some representation from them, especially since they sent in a spy that her secretary and also Scott was a spy of the strategic development department. Maybe some more Yaoguang law. I think we've gotten as much Yaoguang lore as we can get as of right now, because it's not a focus patch. I just, you know, I do think it's absolutely hilarious that all of the quote unquote emanators of the hunts, whether that might be Ashvale, whether that's the generals, all is like, please, Lon, do not, please, for the love of God, do not shoot your arrow here. Oh my God, Lon, I have it handled. Please do not shoot. It's like a kid. It's like kind of like that reminds me of like a kid who's like, Dad, I got it. Don't worry, I can handle it. Dad, I got it. And then the dad's like, no, I'm going to do it right now. And then he shoots his arrow and destroys a planet. He's like, Dad, that's too far. Kuchiba is a history fictionologist with storage wish power being used for Orwell. I actually don't see how the moon is any different from the Holy Grail. You know, that it would be kind of funny, because if that's actually how it works, then it would be it would be interesting to see if they make the Fate collab in Planarcadia. It'd be interesting. Let me. By the way, this is one of my favorite themes from Genshin. I love Nilu's theme. The jazz Middle Eastern theme really always got me. HSR Part 2. Yeah. The chaotic is a more chaotic Lord Ravager. I saw briefly that it was that, who was it, like Nova posted something about that. I haven't seen anything about it myself though, but Nilu mentioned, dude, I love Nilu's theme. Love. Music is such a big thing for me playing a game. I'm not sure about how you guys feel. I literally restarted Genshin like way back then, just because I heard her theme and it was so good. It was so good. Similar to Kichiba has a necklace similar to Graphia's? Really? Wait, hold on. Does she? Hold on. Well, it does. It's just pearls. What's that? Does she? Here, hold on. Hold on. I have a lot of buddies who are like really like kind of sweaty gamer types, and they're like, like I love them, but they do not play music when they game. It drives me insane sometimes. I love them though, but like, you know, to each their own. Where is this? Let me see. I'm curious about what you said about the Graphia thing. Does she? Oh, she does. Sort of. It's a little bit close. Yeah, this is like kind of pearls right here. Holy shit, you do. Wait, shit, that was actually cooking. What the hell? Me too. In fact, the only thing is the Planarcadia is the boss music. Planarcadia has had such good the boss music. I feel like, okay, with the boss music, I feel like we just don't have, we're not have the ability to judge it yet, because I feel like we haven't gotten to the great boss music yet. Because I feel like the best Amphorius boss music, the only one that would have occurred yet would be 3.3, which was Poi Poi. And then it was the Lygus boss theme, which happened way later. And then the final boss theme. Yeah. This is a crazy catch, though. I'm sorry. Who caught this? But this is a crazy catch with the pearls. Because this is almost exactly the same necklace. And now that you mention it, similar cut, too. Because Kuchiba actually has the haircut of the statue in the game, in the of Graphia, in the actual in the school. Oh, you know what would be interesting if Kuchiba is actually like a descendant of Graphia in a different line. That's a crazy catch. Whoever caught that. That'd be so interesting if that maybe there's like a different line of Graphia as a descendants. Because, I mean, it makes sense. Like, the clan doesn't have to go through here, and there's always like this thing with like other clans coming from it. So, crazy catch. I kind of want to play the Allegory of the Cave, or the Rave, but I'd just be fucking bouncing, dude. It's so good. It's so good. Glitchy symbols. I don't know. And it has the eyeballs, too. I'm looking through my stream music playlist, and I forgot I had this one. How many people know who this song is? This is a deep cut. Let's make a deal. If Sparksy wins the game somehow, just for the fun, you will make a cooking video. You know what? Here. You know what? Here. If Sparksies win, I will make a stream where I make Star Rail's food. I'll make a dish from Star Rail live. How's that? If Sparksies win, I'll do that. I'll try to do it live. I'm not sure. It depends. Sometimes cooking takes a while. And you guys can pick the dish. I'll remake it live. If it's possible to remake live, unless it's if it's not, then I'll have a prep ahead of time. Was with Graphia Millennia Year during the wars with Asat Pramad though? I wonder if it's possible, but what I'm thinking is that it's either a descendant line. It could be that Graphia also... It could be that Kuchiba is also an imagine that Graphia put as a representation of herself to watch over Planarcadia, but in like a kind of underlining way. Himeko's coffee? Oh, I don't know about that. You know, I make some pretty damn good cold brew. We can just leave it at that. I actually was drinking some before the stream. I love me my cold brew, my cold coffee. I'm in like Southern California. I have to drink cold coffee. It's too hot here. No one guesses the music art yet, which is funny. Maybe I am old. But this is a crazy catch. You know what? Also, another thing that I did notice about Graphia, if you look at her design, it is kind of funny. It does kind of has a weird thing where her hair is kind of chopped really short. And there was a moment, there was like a thing where they were making fun of Himeko's like short hair. So I'm starting to wonder if was Graphia playing off as Himeko, or did Himeko try to like imitate Graphia? No, this is Graphia. This is almost like for sure Graphia. Yeah, it's the Himeko. It's the cut that they were talking about, that Himeko cut her hair really short. And it was really funny. It was like a really embarrassing moment for her. And I'm going to be honest with you. This is not the best haircut. So I'm wondering if she was trying to imitate Graphia, or if it was Graphia. Way back when. For anyone who was I was trying to see if anyone could figure out. This is an old theme. One of the best games ever. All right. I would love to see a Graphia thing. Japanese princess cut, the Hime cut. Ooh, wait, you're right. It is kind of like that. You might be right about that. That is interesting. It was Mario, yeah. The battle theme from Saga. I love that game. I love all of the Mario and Luigi games, except for maybe the last one. That was okay. Yeah. Oh, wait, there's actually one last thing I wanted to talk about before I probably sign off, because I have to work on I have a big project with someone that I have to work on, but hint hint nudge nudge will probably come out soon. But I have a huge project with a big partner that you'll see soon. Where is it? The original trailer. Where's the original trailer? Where's the original? Yeah, dude, this project has been crazy. Like, a lot of work for me. Where's the original? Oh, here it is. Here. Here it is. So I brought this up a while ago and on the Discord channel. Is that I'm so interested on who is going to represent each of the factions that we see here in Astropolis when we get to Astropolis. And if you don't remember, Astropolis is the entertainment capital of the IPC and where they're going to have the meetings for the Anti-Destruction Alliance. So theoretically speaking, we're supposed to see one from each of these factions here. So obviously the IPC. Favorite character trailer from Planarcadia? Probably Silverwolves. I love Silverwolves trailer. That was so funny. That was good. A new character that there isn't in the game yet. There's a lot of characters that's not in the game yet here. Stephen Lloyd is here. The Harmony girl is here. Chordmaster for the Harmony, and then there's also the cat girl. This girl right here. Yeah. Actually, I love Asheville, but I feel like I liked Blades more than I actually really like Sparksies was interesting, but I feel like Sparksies are very dependent on stuff. Hope for the talk with the Destruction Alliance won't be boring as heck. I feel okay, so here's my theory is that we don't handle Asat Pramad completely within Planarcadia. Because we know that we're going to Astropolis. We're going to go to Astropolis probably in 4.6, I would like to say. Have 3 patches in Astropolis. And there's no way it's just political talks. I love my political drama. You guys know I love my sci-fi space political drama. But what I think is going to happen is that we defeat Asat Pramad's plan here. He escapes, finds out we're going to Astropolis, and fucks things up again. That's kind of where I'm thinking. Silver will go berserk in 4.6. Oh my god, I would love to I would love to see a Silver Wolf Asat full on like fight. Jing Yuan represents Shenzhou. Actually, I could see that. I feel like Jing Yuan's a really good diplomat. Actual war, since we are already forming alliance and stuff, so ooh. That would be interesting if that's how they go against the Lord Ravagers, is that they choose a faction. Each faction takes on one Lord Ravager. I don't think that's the method they would go, because I feel like they would do it one by one. But it would be an interesting perspective to be like, hey, you handle one Lord Ravager, you handle the other, you handle the other. Reveals she's Aha, helps us kill the Rasty part. You know, speaking of that part, I am curious. So, like I said, Anti-Destruction Alliance is including the Masked Fools. So I'm wondering who's going to be the representative for the Masked Fools. I don't think it's Sparksy or Sparkle. And I wonder if it's actually going to be Sampo. We actually haven't gotten Sampo much at all, which is kind of something I'm very disappointed about. But he's clearly important to the story. And so I'm wondering if Sampo is gonna show up as like a representative, as a diplomat of the tavern. And that's how we get the Sampo SP. Because that's the only way I see it happening, because he's gonna get an SP. I feel like it's almost guaranteed he's gonna get SP. But it's like it hasn't happened yet. There's not a focus on the tavern yet. And so, when is this going to happen? I also want playable Giovanni. I want playable Giovanni so badly. I like Giovanni a lot, actually. You don't think the Master will show up in the meeting? I think they do. I think they will, because they need a representative of Elation. They need a representation of Elation. They are so... The Masked Fools are so spread out throughout the universe that I feel like they're such a powerful faction. Like, surprisingly powerful. I think a lot of people undermine how powerful they are as a faction. Ooh, gatekeeping sample SP for a Bellabog continuance. That would be interesting. Is that if we got a Bellabog continuance prior to the 5.0 patches? I would love that, though. I would love to see like see the Bellabog characters again. And then Astropolis, because either Aha will be replaced or the leader of alliances will come up shortly. You know, it would be kind of funny if Aha's plan was just to answer that, so that he will be replaced, but we still need him to become the leader of the alliance. Do they need representation? They seem pretty independent and carefree. I think so. I think that. Because another thing is that Aha has shown, if the factions represent the Eons, Aha has shown that they were willing to defend the world, the universe, against destruction. Or not necessarily destruction like the path, but defend the world against the world being destroyed. So that's kind of where I'm thinking. So, going through each of the faction, obviously IPC is the Stonehearts. So we also know that Aventurine's going to show up somewhere, because Aventurine was in the... Aventurine was shown to be one of the characters in Astropolis during like the original live stream. I just remember that when they first showed Astropolis, like a little click image of Astropolis, they had Aventurine there. So he's going to show up. So there's definitely going to be the Stonehearts. It seems like Opal is going to be there, which will be interesting. My thing is it's gonna be either Sampo SB is gonna show up or it's gonna be Nihilix, and she's gonna be like, "Why am I here?" Yeah, Jade and Tobaz. And then Opal. There was like that artwork they put out with all the stone hearts, and they made Opal like way taller, which was hilarious. Then there's gonna be Yao Guang. I do feel like maybe Jing Yuan would be there as well, in case like. My thing is like I feel like if the generals would be like, hey, we need another general going just in case Yao Guang just like disappears for like 3 seconds. In the middle of the meeting, she does kind of tend to like disappear through different timelines, so they're probably gonna be like, "Hey, look, we just need someone in case she just pops out of nowhere, which would ruin the thing." I want a Qingque, a 5-star Qingque so badly. I want a 5-star Qingque so badly. My God, that would be Marshall Hua representing the Lawfu would be, or the Shenzhou would be. I don't know if they would do that. I'm gonna be so honest, because then I feel like she would only show up if Diamond shows up. That's my thing. We need someone who stays in our timeline. Imagine the call. Yao Guang's like, I told you I have this, and Marshall Hua's like, you disappear randomly. We can't have you do that in the middle of the meeting that decides the universe. Jing Yuan, you go. Yes, ma'am. Genius Society. I said I think Screwlum's. I think Screwlum's going to represent Genius Society. I feel like no one else would represent the Genius Society. I think they will somehow. I think through Pearl's like deal making with Ashvale, Ashvale will show up for the Galaxy Rangers. But at the same time, that's a good point. And that's actually what I was literally going to get to, is that if Ashvale is the retired Galaxy Ranger, there has to be a current leader of the Galaxy Rangers, which I'm so interested in, is that there has to be a current leader of the Galaxy Rangers that, or because Ashvale, it seems like Ashvale, Rappa and this cat girl went to go find Ashvale. I wonder if there's two factions of the Galaxy Rangers, one that like is still believing in Ashvale as the leader, or if there's another faction that follows a different leader. Because that would be very interesting if there's like some political drama due to Ashvale suddenly leaving and something he did that caused him to be a target of maybe the original one. Someone just put cat girl. Okay, I see your priorities, all right? I bet you pulled for you pulled for Cypher, didn't you? There's no way the maid is the leader of the Galaxy Rangers. Not saying that. I just, she doesn't give me the vibe. To be honest. I think it would be very interesting if we're following like kind of the representation of their inspirations. That the current leader of the Galaxy Rangers is a character obviously we haven't met yet, but is like supposed to be representing, going into the Don Quixote La Mancha. If you don't know, La Mancha, the leader is Ashvale, and La Mancha is from Don Quixote, the story of Don Quixote. And he has like an assistant sort of named Sancho. And it would be very fun, I think, if the current leader of the Galaxy Rangers is like Sancho. And it's and it was like Ashvale's assistant or friend that believes that Ashvale did the wrong thing in trying to take in all of the hunters that became monkeys instead of killing them, or instead of offing them. And then Sancho believes that he's that was wrong. I feel like that would be such a I feel like that would be such a great story point if they're able to do that. Yeah, La Mancha is a place in Spain. It's from where Don Quixote is based in. But I feel like there's no way they didn't think of doing didn't think of Don Quixote when they named the guy in La Mancha, because it's such a poetic story point. One thing I really like, and I hope they do with Ashvale's character, because we don't know that much about his actual story yet, is that I really want them to do a reflection to Don Quixote, where he had this want to be a hero, and then he became a hero. He wanted it so badly, and he tried he ventured out to do it, and then people thought he was delusional, and then eventually he did become a hero through the power of the hunt. I feel like that would be such a poetic and interesting representation and retelling of the Don Quixote story. Yeah. I feel like that'd be really good, but maybe that's just me using my like fan writing brain, or but I feel like that's kind of where they're aiming with, because it's such a perfect alignment with the Galaxy Rangers, and also a lot of them have like this kind of delusional or mental thing, a tick, I guess, quirk to them. Probably quirk is better. You know, Rappa has hers. Boot Hill has his kind of like speaking impediment. And I feel like it's going to be I think that would be a very fun thing. Yeah. So I think it's Ashvale is good. Ashvale, or it would be interesting to see the other Galaxy Ranger that is the leader of the Galaxy Rangers. Current leader, and then obviously we have Robin representing the family.
When I head to Astropolis, I'll uncover what the IPC.
I feel like she just looks. Maybe ever since Sunday left, I feel like her every single time they depict Robin, she looks so sad. I just, maybe it's just me, but she seems always so sad. And then I said, I think it's gonna be Nihilix that covers the Masked Fools, and I think that's mainly it, right? Yeah. She'll meet with Sunday again. I hope, though. I feel like that would be nice. Is there any other factions I'm missing? I'm pretty sure. Jiao Cho, main Reddit. I think that's it, right? Let me see.
A Destruction Alliance under the full moon.
This girl needs a hug. Robin's been through a lot. Robin has been through so much. That girl needs a hug. You were right. Preservation would be the strategic Himeko and Welt for the Trailblaze. Erudition, I said screw them. It would probably also like Dr. Ratio, and then Hunt would be the Shenzhou, and then also Shenzhou General, probably Jing Yuan, as well as Ashvale. Elation, I am saying, is going to be Sample or Nihilix, and then Harmony is Robin. Her belief in Harmony will be challenged if she ever finds out the origin of the Stellarons. Oh, that is a good point. I didn't even think about that. Is that if she ever finds that the truth of the Stellarons, or they come from the Harmony, or you know what would be crazier is that she already knows that, but she feels trapped in it. I wonder if the trade Robin made was a voice. I originally said that theory. I do wonder what, but it would be interesting. I don't know, but she also has to perform to for crowds again. But maybe she's just acting more as a diplomat for the Harmony, for the family. Yeah, Nihilix is somewhat important. I don't personally believe she is Aha. That's just my personal theory. I don't think she is Ha Ha Ha. Aha Ha Ha. I do think she represents maybe all of the masked factions. The combination of the morning actors and the Masked Fools. And she would be, in that case, the perfect example of a person that should go in there. Using Stellaron? Yeah. First order characters is Robin. Yeah. Ooh. I don't know how I feel. Personally, I actually don't know how I feel about them constantly adding more paths as playable things. I mean, as long as it make it a fun gimmick, then I think I'm okay with it. But they have to really try. I think Elation was pretty cool. I think adding Elation in the way they did was a cool idea. I think Elation should have been done that. The only one that I'm like, is there any other? I feel like the rest of the paths, it would just be too much. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Equilibrium. That is true. I want to meet an Equilibrium faction. It would be so interesting to meet an Equilibrium faction. I also and I want to meet. I mean, this is just going off of everyone at this point. Kind of a random note. Before I sign off, I have this like theory in my head that the next planet is gonna be based off of the knights, like knights and of like knight of like King Art of Arthurian legend, and the reason why is because of Sapphire having seemingly look like they have like knight inspiration, as well as Gwenhyfen or Guinevere. Her whole backstory is based off of Arthurian legend, and then we get the Fate collab, and it mentions Guinevere or Gwenhyfen immediately. And I don't know, there's just that hint in there that makes me like just like perk my ears that I feel like it's gonna be a Knights of Beauty, a Drilla based place, and that it might be that planet ran by Sapphire might be that it used to belong to the Knights of Beauty, and Camelot HSR. It used to belong to the Knights of Beauty, and in order to survive, they went to the IPC, and Sapphire became a Stoneheart. I feel like that would be kind of where my head is at for this. It would be so interesting. And I think that the reason why I also say that is because they typically, so far, Star Wars has been doing this kind of trend where they go into a very sci-fi futuristic story or place, and then kind of like a place inspired by, not necessarily fully, but inspired by like mythology and ancient culture. And we start with, I mean, Belobog and Shenzhou is a little bit iffy because it's like kind of the beginning of the story. But going from Penacony to Amphorius to Planarcadia, and even before Penacony was Shenzhou, which Shenzhou is not necessarily a unadvanced place, but it's based more on ancient China than it is modern China, right? So yeah, Gwenhyfen. So that my theory is that after Planarcadia, we go to a world inspired by Camelot and what's it called? And Avalon. I just feel like it would make sense. I know Camelot is gone. Camelot HSR. If you don't know the lore behind Gwenhyfen, Camelot is gone, but that doesn't mean there isn't a place called Avalon, which is paradise. So it could be interesting to see, instead of Camelot, they decided to move to a different place and then founded another planet with the colony, and it's now Avalon. Maybe this is also me coping from my Fate fan, my former Fate fan. But, you know, it is what it is. 1930s American ancient culture. No, I'm saying the Penacony was more of an advanced culture, but it is based on flapper, like jazz, 1930s American jazz culture. But yeah, I don't know. I have that. That's my other theory. Imagine if Evernight is the witch Morgan Le Fay. That'd be crazy. 5-star Guinevere gets Excalibur. That'd be hilarious. Because we do know fun fact. Also, I think it was mentioned in her story quest that her brother's Lancelot, which is crazy. Her brother Lancelot lives in the Shenzhou in the Law Fu. I'm pretty sure that was the case, and the rest of them became like space pirates or something like that. The rest of the knights became space pirates, which would be interesting if we see like an example of one of the knights becoming a Galaxy Ranger, because we have always said that there has to be a pirate Galaxy Ranger. Yeah, like the Greek and Roman themed planets. I'm more talking about the theming rather than the actual how advanced they are. Because it does seem like the planet that Sapphire rules over, it's only shown briefly, has castles and stuff. It could be advanced ass castles with like laser swords and shit, like lightsabers and stuff. But you know, I think it's there. I think it's there. That's the kind of my like crack theory. On top of my other crack theory, which is that Evanescia will join the Stellaron Hunters. Still no, absolutely zero, zero evidence for that. But I just have this weird crack theory about it. Grandchild of HSR Arthur. New Icy Elio lore. Be sick if we see the homeworld of each of the Stonehearts. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be cool. Oh, yeah, you're right. The new set. You're right. Let me go look into that real quick. Is the is the Star Rail wiki updated with the new set yet, or is it not? I thought it wasn't updated yet. Relics. As navigator, CC's HSR. Oh, it is. Oh shit, it is. Hold on. Corrosion relic set, 4-piece. Skill damage and skill ultimate increases. Do they have the lore on it? No, they don't. I want to hear... I do want to see Topaz do her chant. I would love to see Topaz activate her stone. Oh, still no lore? Okay. I'm excited to see anything about Elio. There's no way in my eyes that Elio is not an emanator of finality. Just the level of his ability just doesn't make sense. I hope they show us something about Pass Express. Yeah. I want to see how the... I would love to see how they operated with so many Astro Express trains. That would be interesting to me. Yeah. What if it's I come to assess, I come to resurrect? Resurrect? I come to deceive all in the name of the Amber Lord. All for the Amber Lord. I come to assess. I come to resurrect. Resurrect? Dude, I am dyslexic. What the fuck? Oh, I'm just so dyslexic. I'm so dyslexic. I would love to see more transformations. I feel like Topaz would need a transformation, or she summons all of her pets. That would be a crazy ability. Her thing is that she finds someone that's like really powerful. Topaz's role was that she's like the she's basically the lone she lone not the lone shark. She's the one who gathers all the money that is loaned out to people. So she's basically like the IRS for the Stonehearts. So yeah, so I feel like she would have to have like powers. Like her ability would have to have something physical, because she has to be strong enough to get... Yeah, she's a debt collector. There we go. She has to be strong enough to get all of the debts back, especially if they're strong. So that means I don't know. She has to have something. You know what I want? I really want skins for all of the I want the skins for all of the Stonehearts from the original, from the Stonehearts trailer. She got ranked down. She's like P43 right now. I want all of these skins. They're so good. Like, give me this Aventurine skin or SP or something. Dude, he looks so clean. He looks so clean. And then obviously you got Sujilite here. Fucking looking class. And then Topaz. Look at this. Okay, as much as I love Topaz, this is clean. This is so good. A year ago? Yeah, I know, right? Bigger hip window? Dude, if there's at that point, there's just no pants. And even Jade's. Jade's is clean, too. Jade's is good, too. Pearls is actually what she's... Pearls is like... So, I also want to see like this one, too, for Pearl. Pearl, I mean, it looks like Pearl has her third thing. No, she has, I don't know, she has like leggings on or something. There you go. That's just makes the Stonehearts look better. You might be right. Obviously, I'm looking forward to Obsidian. Obsidian's going to be interesting. And I love that they made Obsidian like lore-wise very strong, because obsidian is like the sharpest tool or sharpest material in the world, which is so cool. I don't know. I am so excited for having all the stone arts. They make really good, like, not villains. I don't even know what's the official word for them. They're like morally gray characters. Elizabeth Bathory. Oh yeah, this is what I was talking about with Sapphire. This is like kind of a showing of his world, and this all looks very Knights, like Camelot based Knights, or at the very least like Charlemagne based, like very medieval. Theory, but Obsidian is a vampire and a self-annihilator based on nihility. I would think if she's a vampire, she might be abundance. That would be interesting, because they already have like the horror theme going with abundance characters, right? They have the werewolves with Hule and all, and God, I forgot the name of the what, but you know who I'm talking about. And then they have the Mara struck, which is like zombies, and then abundance for vampire, right? Like having the horror theme for the vampire would be great. What about Veracity? Veracity is snake tentacle lady. That's a theme enough. We don't need to go further than that, all right? You can tell Hoyo wants to make a horror game so bad. They're trying. They have that one game coming out that I'm very excited for. It's Pasaruta? I forgot the name, but that one looked really good. That one looked very, very good. That one looked fun. It reminds me, it feels like it would be like the graphics that they would have for Persona 6. Which, by the way, I know a lot of you are also Persona fans. Persona 6 is coming out officially. I didn't look at the leaks, but I know it's officially been announced that Persona 6 is being worked on, and I'm excited. Finally, we get a new Persona game. And a Persona 4 is coming out. What's Locha then? Locha is fucking Dr. Frankenstein. Actually, no, that would make sense because he carries around the remains of the propagation of Tezeroth. Has their animal association? Do they? Do they have an animal association? Wait, you're right. Wait, hold on. What's Aventurines though? He's Gluttony. 6. I heard P5. I heard Persona 5X was good. I don't know. I was gonna try it, but I never really did. Oh, Peacock. Yeah, no, that you're fucking right. He is Peacock. What is what's? I mean, what would be Topaz? She has all of the pets though. Snake for Jade. I'm thinking that Opal, or not Opal, Amber. Is it Amber? Amber, right?
There's also Agate.
Agate, my bad. Agate. I feel like Agate is from the Xianzhou, because this is all like Eastern funeral themes. You have the incense and everything too. Cats for Suzulite.
Dead.
Bats for Obsidian.
Prefers to remain neutral.
Oh yeah, and this one's Amber.
Bloodbath.
This immediately sold half of HSR on pulling Obsidian immediately. I know you guys. Guaranteed. Agate is just Hua Yen's side gig. Trust, that would be hilarious. Dude, when are we getting a playable Hua Yen? Dude, I want playable OP anime man.
Prefers to remain neutral.
Amber is interesting. It looks like Amber is very technical. Beware the old man. Dude, I'm telling you, he's gonna be like the first captain in Bleach. He's gonna be the captain commander in Bleach. He's gonna be like Yamamoto. He's gonna fucking be insane. Yeah, Amber is weird because it's Amber Lord, but it seems like they're painting Amber almost as if she has like a tie to erudition, because she has all this technical stuff, which I would have thought originally would have been Pearl, but Pearl, because of her initial like programming is actually more tied to elation, ironically, which is interesting.
An Intellatron.
Yeah.
I think there should be more justice.
So, Opal is a oh fuck, what's the name of this race again? Do you know what's the race of the small people? Oh my god, no, that sounds so wrong. That sounds so. I'm so sorry. Oh my god, that's so. Oh, that sounded so wrong. Pepeshi, thank you, thank you. Pepeshi, I thought Pepeshis were only in I thought Pepeshis were only in Penacony. So it makes me wonder if maybe Opal used to be in the used to be from Penacony, or was a Harmony. Baby Diamond. These boss baby dog. You guys watch, I'm assuming you guys watch my videos. The amount of times I've used the footage from this specific image here for just about everything
This one
is wild. I literally use this exact footage so much. This is probably one of the trailers I use the most in my videos. Have you read their lore? I read into a few of them, like way, way, way back when. I haven't read too much into it ever since. So, but yeah, no, I haven't personally looked into it too much. I think other races can still exist in other worlds, right? Yeah, but it does seem like specific races are tied to specific paths. Like the Holovians are tied to Harmony. They can follow different paths, but initially they're tied to Harmony. When do you think Pearl is going to pop her stone? She already did. She used her stone already. She did the chant when she was using Imagenesis on everything. And it seems like it wasn't... Ironically, it seems like her using her stone was the analysis of where to use Imagenesis. It wasn't actually using the Imagenesis, which is interesting. I feel like Pearl is going to be like... Pearl has like her version of the Sharingan. Like she's going to be able to analyze everything and be able to react to it. Or well, not Sharingan, is Baki, the other one, the one where their eyes get all veiny. You know what's cool? Diamonds are like prisms and stone hearts are like different shades that reflect light. Oh, wait, that's cool. I didn't know that. That's interesting. Pearl was Sasano would go hard. Some fucking giant ass paintbrush go against Himeko's mecha robot. Dude, that's why she started the Perlux Corps. It has all the robots. Perpetually Harmony character, we just seen them on Penacony. So, you know, the thing is, we've seen a Pepeshi use tuning, sort of. It was technically Sunday, but it was... The thing is, for me, is that it was still... No one seemed shocked that a Pepeshi could do that. Right? And isn't 1 week? Yeah, isn't that guy the head of the... Oh my god, I'm forgetting my lore. The dude who looks like Santa Claus but like an elf. Isn't he a Pepeshi? The guy who's in charge of the finances for in the Radiant Feldspar during 4.3. Oh my god, he's also like the main villain in the Fate collab from part 1. Oh my god, what is his name? Oh my god, what is his name? I'm not sure as much as Old Oti, yeah, Old Oti. Isn't he a Pepeshi? Isn't Old Oti a Pepeshi? He is, it was implied that he has abilities of the Harmony. Like, he is a passerite of Harmony. It was implied during the conversation that he has the ability to sway Harmony. I remember that much because I thought it was interesting. Unless it was maybe a translation thing. He's also old. I think him being old, I think, is a more matter of the dream world than anything else. Yeah. Anyways, I think that's it for the day. I got to finish on that project and I got to eat dinner. So thank you all for coming, hanging out. I'm excited. I guess I'll be playing the 4.3 patch. I probably have to play it tomorrow. I have to finish my thing first. But anyways, thank you all for hopping in, hanging out. It's great. So yeah, I want to try to stream more, but we'll see. I want to try to stream more and do a little bit more lore chats, especially prior to oh, I'm so sorry, Snow. I'm about to sign off. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. All right. Peace. Bye, guys.